It allowed you to grow into who you needed to become. And that's what it is. It's the journey. The journey is what takes you further and helps you grow and become the person that you always were born to be.
It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.
Welcome to the Health in the Real World podcast. I'm Chris Janke. I'm here today with Diondre Borel. Diondre, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited, joyful. The Lord has been good to me. God is good. I always put God first in everything that I do. So I'm excited.
Awesome. That's awesome. So give us a little bit of background, as far as your history. I know you played in the NFL for a little while and what you're doing now as well.
Okay, so yes, history when it comes to the sports world, I received a scholarship from high school to play at the university, Utah State University, and it was a full ride as a quarterback. So from there, I was doing my thing, just enjoying my time there, performing, competing, and played in the NFL for 3 years. So I was on the practice squad, and it was a great time. It's a different experience. It was one of those things where I always believed I can go, and I would speak it every day as a child, as a kid, around 10 years old, and kept believing for it to happen, and it happened, and I was just excited. It wasn't new to me. It
Right.
wasn't an excitement of, wow, I didn't believe this was going to happen. It was an excitement like, yes, I believed it and it did happen and I'm here now. And I kept continuing my career to play indoor football and won 2 championships with teams. So I've won 2 out of 3 championships in arena and indoor league. And then I played overseas in Finland in 2019.
That's awesome. So a good, nice long career. And I'm sure as far as what you do now, you're a speaker. I'm sure what you did to become a pro football player is something that you can pass on to people because, like you said, you weren't surprised. It wasn't like a winning the lottery excitement. It was like yep, I've rehearsed this every day since I was 10 years old. And now now you can see it. All you people can see it. I've been seeing this since I was 10. Was it something like that?
Yes, definitely. I feel like, it was a vision of mine. I always seen it on TV and I believed it. And I believe that in the sports world and in life, you have those abilities, you have those dreams. Now to believe in it and continuing to believe it. And no matter what experience you have or have had in the past, that isn't your now, because now is now. And when you believe in the now, you can push yourself further. You get to know who you are and what's inside of you that will come out. And that's how I felt about that particular dream playing in the NFL. It was like, I believed it. I put the work in to do it. But when you believe it, it comes to you while you're going to go get it. And that's the patience you also have to, well, I won't say have to, that you would want to choose to have in your life. Being patient so it all works out for your good. And that's how it worked out for me. And that's what I want people to see, that that's a dream of mine that had happened. That's the highest place of playing football, was the NFL. And you can take your dreams to that level when you believe and have faith. And the more you continue to believe and have faith, you'll believe in yourself. The NFL isn't the only stop for me. And there's more for you outside of certain dreams that may only last for a little bit of the time, but then you go for another dream, you go for another goal, and it just becomes bigger and bigger. And that's how you impact the world and operate in your purpose.
Yep. And they say, I love that quote. I don't know who said it originally, but it's not so much the goal that we're after, it's becoming the person in the process of achieving the goal. That like the person you become is the gift. That's the present that we get at the end. We're a bigger person, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe that. That's big right there. That's
It's
great.
bigger. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nice, huh? It's nice to think about that too. It's like,
yeah.
NFL's great, but I tried to play professional semi-pro basketball. I went to 2 tryouts. But what I realized when I didn't make it is that I became a bigger person in the process of just trying. And that was success right there.
It allowed you to grow into who you needed to become. And that's what it is. It's the journey. The journey is what takes you further and helps you grow and become the person that you always were born to be.
Yep, 100%. So, what's one of, in your mind, DeAndre, what's one of the most important things somebody can do to get healthy? Let's say they're a beginner. What's something that you would recommend somebody just start with? Like, what's your foundation, would you say?
I'd say the first thing is just starting off with exercise, whether it's walking, slow jogging, pace walking, jogging, then walking, at least work out for about 30 minutes. I mean, 15 to 30 minutes, whether it's walking, doing just basic exercises, push ups, sit ups, squats, lunges, body weight. You want to focus on controlling your body before you start lifting weights or doing those intense exercises because your body, if you're a beginner, your body is not used to those movements, and that's how you cause injuries. So the basics, 15 to 30 minutes, squats, push-ups, walking, jogging, pace walking. I believe that is how you create a foundation. Just strengthening those muscles so you are able to advance and do bigger exercises or more intense exercises.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm all about with my clients. I do a couple classes, 3 days a week, 3 classes, 3 days a week. And that's it, it's 100% body weight. And it's all about just the
Yes.
basics. We do almost the same thing every single time. And people are like, well, is that all you do, Chris? And it's very easy. It's like, yeah, it's just basic. It's basic, but it really works. Really, really works. Um, so what about that person who's been, let's say they've been really successful for a while with their fitness program, and then or even like an athlete, right? You're playing high school, college, or pros, but they sort of you've heard the saying, like, fall off the wagon, right? They don't have any more motivation anymore. What do you tell somebody? Like, what's your pep talk for somebody who's fallen off the wagon, so to speak?
Well, I would ask them, what is your why? What is your purpose? What is your reason? Why you do play sports, or what is your reason why you work out? And if you have fell off or you feel down, what is causing that? What has caused you to feel that way? What has caused you to not have motivation or inspiration? Um, what is your past experience? What has gone on, or what has happened to where you don't feel like doing anything? And that is key because I know I was one of those people,
So what
right?
happened with that? What was your story? How did you get back on the wagon with that?
For me, it was the Lord, it was God. I always put God first. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And at that moment, I always made everything a have to. And when you make it a have to, then it becomes a job,
Mm.
right? You have to do this in order to get this. And you want to choose to be it before you have it, right? It just goes back to when I was a kid. Well, I was saying I was going to go to the NFL, but I was being that before I received it. And then a lot of times in life, we have experiences, and then we change into we need to have this before we can have this. I gotta have money to buy a home. I have to have, I have to work out in order to go to the NFL. That was my experience. But no, I am the NFL. I still can be that and work towards it, and then it becomes a lot lighter. It's a lighter burden.
Right.
And that's how you cause stress when you say I have to, right? People do that every day. I have to go to work. I have to go to work. No, you're choosing to go to work.
Yeah.
I choose to work out. I choose to train because this will help me get to where I want to go.
Yeah, yeah, it goes back to kind of enjoying the process because the goal, whatever that goal is that we think is so important, we want that because we think we're going to feel so good in the process, or we think we're going to feel good at the end, when 99.9% of the journey is the journey. It's not the goal. You experience the goal, you win the, I don't know, you win the Super Bowl, you're popping champagne, and then for like 2 weeks you're on a high, and then probably just going to get back to the same level you were at before the Super Bowl, because you're going to have a new goal. You're going to want something else. I agree with you 100%. We need to enjoy the process. We need to realize that entire, you were probably visualizing from age 10 to, when did you start in the NFL? Probably 22, 23,
Yes.
12, 13 years. You had to enjoy that process and realize this is all part of it. This is a journey. I'm enjoying
Right.
this journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I believe that because, again, as you get older, you become an adult. We start remembering a lot of things, right? And when we're kids, it's like we go out and play. We're ready for
Right.
recess. We just go do it. And
Right.
as you get older, all these experiences, you're holding on to those experiences, and then your mind changes. But if we become, I won't say a kid, but if we have that same mentality about going to do it and not having to worry, that's the faith, right? That's the faith. Then we'll be able to accomplish everything that we believe. And it's different when you're a kid. There's no responsibility, right? There's not that much responsibility except for going to school, doing your work, right? And if you're playing sports, you're playing sports.
Right.
And an adult.
Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with Diondre's phone, so the rest of the episode is very choppy. We got some good stuff while we had him. Few minutes there. I would love to have Diondre back, so we're coordinating that. So we'll have a part 2 of this episode. Thank you so much for joining today. Health in the Real World podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Health in the Real World show. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Visit mycorebalance.com to learn more.